Hey guys, welcome to another Billy guide. Billy is currently having his first ever banner since the launch of Zenless Zone Zero, so there's a lot of people who were able to pull a lot of copies for him while pulling for Qingyi. If you're one of these people and you're thinking of building him, or if you are already a Billy main, this video should help you bring out his maximum potential. Pritwin also just bumped Billy up a tier on their ZZZ agent tier list, from tier 3 up to tier 2, meaning that Billy is no longer in a tier of his own and he's now recognized as being comparable to the other A-rank DPSs in the game. I'm personally really stoked about this, since it means that people are finally recognizing Billy's potential now that we've started to uncover some of his hidden mechanics. Today, I want to go over some advanced Billy techs that can help you to optimize his damage. Billy wants to be played on field, outside of enemy stun windows in order to better utilize his strong dodge counters. This means he's best paired with a burst stunner such as Anby. You'll be using Billy on field by default, then when your stunner has enough energy, you'll want to defensive assist into your stunner, perform their burst stun combo, then switch back to Billy. The techs in this video will help you optimize this on-field playstyle. I'll be assuming you already understand the basics of his kit and how to enter and maintain the crouching shot and the pseudo crouching shot states. If you're unfamiliar with any of these, please check out SuperCow's Billy guide and my previous video on the crouching shot and pseudo crouching shot states before coming back to watch this video. Links to both will be in the description. Now let's get started. First up is the neutral dash attack cancel. This is one of his most important and versatile techs for damage and movement, since it can cancel almost all of his moves, completely stops his momentum, and he will immediately enter continuous crouching fire afterward if he was already in the crouching state. Basically, Billy has two different dash attacks, which are known in-game as 360 degree shot and straight shot. If you dash attack while holding a movement input, you'll get a 360 degree shot. If you dash attack after a dash or after a 360 degree shot, you'll get a straight shot. And finally, if you dash attack without any movement input, you'll also get a straight shot. This last one is what we'll call a neutral dash attack. The first application of this tech is to use it to get from standing to continuous crouching fire faster. Billy enters his crouching state immediately after this shot in his startup sequence, but the rolling animation he does afterwards is long and does no damage. We can skip this animation by immediately doing a neutral dash attack right when he starts to roll, cancelling the roll animation and immediately putting you in continuous crouching fire. This is the fastest way to start doing real damage outside of his burst rotation. You can actually achieve a similar result using Billy's normal special, performing a special cancel instead. You can also do this with an EX special if the situation calls for it. Canceling with a special is slightly easier than doing the neutral dash attack, since you press less buttons and you don't have to let go of movement inputs. However, the special cancel is less versatile, since you cannot cancel certain moves such as dash attack, and whether you'll do a normal or EX special changes based on how much energy you have. If you decide to use a special instead of a neutral dash attack, be aware of how much energy you have so you don't accidentally do the wrong type of special. Neutral dash attack and special cancels can also be used to stop your momentum, giving you more control over your movement in the crouching state. This is useful for maintaining Billy's optimal damage range, and it's especially useful in situations where you want to line up multiple enemies to hit them all with your shots, such as when you're fighting against 2 or more elites. I'll go over 3 different movement techs, useful for short, medium, and long distances respectively. The first is used for fine adjustment when trying to line up multiple enemies. Start a roll in the direction you want to move in, then cancel it with the neutral dash attack. The timing for this can be hard to grasp at first, and you'll have to make sure your movement is reset to neutral before doing the dash attack. But when you get used to it, you can use it to shift over just a little bit without breaking out of the crouching state. However, the downside of this movement method is that you can only move in 4 directions, since you can only roll forwards, backwards, or to the side. You can also use a special to cancel the roll. For medium distances, start a dash or a dash attack and cancel it with the neutral dash attack. You can use this to move in any direction, but it's more difficult to be precise since you're moving faster. If you keep holding the attack button while you're dash attacking, Billy will break into a roll, which you can also cancel with the neutral dash attack. Unfortunately, you can't use a special to cancel a dash attack, so be careful when using this tech. For long distances, start a dash attack, but hold the attack button until after the attack finishes. Billy will immediately go into a roll after finishing the dash attack. Then after the roll is about to end, dash again to maintain your speed. When the dash is about to end, hold attack to do another dash attack and repeat until you reach your destination, where you can use a neutral dash attack or a special to stop your momentum. The next tech is an alternative to the normal dash attack spam when you're trying to hit many spread out enemies. Normally when you're in the crouching state, holding the dash attack button during a dash attack will put Billy into a roll, at which point you can do another dash attack. However, if you're in the standing state, doing the same thing will have Billy shoot an extra shot in between each dash attack. This extra shot has a slightly higher multiplier than the entire dash attack, meaning you're doing twice as much damage to at least one of the enemies in the same amount of time. However, being in the standing state also means that you lose the crouching shot buff from Billy's core passive. This is where we can use the pseudo crouching shot state instead, which has the moveset of the standing state but the damage buff of the crouching state. See my previous video for what the pseudo crouching shot state is and how to enter it. Using dash attack spam in this way will double your damage against at least one enemy, helping you to clear the mobs out faster. The last tech for today is one that requires Billy's M2 and allows Billy to do DP assist incredibly easily. If you don't know, a DP assist, or dodge parry assist, is a way to do a dodge counter on one character and then parry on another character at the same time when an enemy attacks. This is done by pressing dodge, attack, and switch character in quick succession right as the enemy attack is about to connect, and it has a pretty difficult timing on most characters. However, Billy's M2 turns his roll into a dodge, and if he gets hit during the roll, the dodge counter will happen automatically without you needing to press the attack button. This is true even if you swap cancel into another character, meaning you can wait until the enemy is about to attack, start a roll by inputting movement in a direction, then switch to another character to parry, and Billy will automatically do a dodge counter without any other inputs from you. This means that you can do a DP assist with just 2 inputs, neither of which have a particularly tight timing. Especially since Billy's roll animation is so long, you can start the roll way before the enemy even starts attacking and still trigger the DP assist. That's it for the major techs for today, but there's still a few small tips and tricks I want to go over. First of all, you can use manual lock-on to help line up multiple enemies. If you lock on to the furthest enemy and position yourself in front of the closer enemy, it's a lot easier to hit both at once. Manual lock-on is a little janky though. Sometimes it'll unlock randomly, so this method may not always work. Targeting in this game is pretty awful in general, so hopefully they fix this in the next few patches to make this work more consistently. Sometimes when you're doing continuous crouching fire against an enemy, they will move away from where you're shooting and you'll start to miss all your bullets. You can use a neutral dash attack or a special here to reset Billy's aim. Finally, I found a very strange third way to enter the pseudo crouching shot state. In my previous video, I went over 2 ways to enter pseudo crouching shot, which are Billy's ultimate while in crouching state, and the finishing shot from releasing the attack button while in continuous crouching fire. This third way is very different from these 2 methods. Basically, after performing certain moves while in the crouching state, if you don't touch any inputs for a very specific amount of time, then press the attack button, you will enter pseudo crouching shot. The amount of time you have to wait is different depending on the move. The fastest and most consistent way I found to utilize this is by using neutral dash and waiting approximately 1 second before basic attacking. You can use the dodge cooldown timer to help you time this, since the dodge cooldown timer is exactly 1 second. This is now the fastest way to enter pseudo crouching shot from standing without using your ultimate, but it is very niche since it's very easy to get interrupted and mess it up, and the payoff for pulling it off is very small. For now, I only occasionally use it when I'm about to fight a large group of small mobs. That's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you were able to learn something new about Billy's kit. Billy is an extremely technical character, and he's currently missing good teammates that can bring out his full potential, so I believe that he has room to get a lot stronger as we discover more about his kit and more characters are released. Like this video if you learned something, subscribe for more ZZZ content, and I'll see you in the next one.